Hey everyone, it's Maribel Blue with a new Pathetically Unfiltered. This is the news and reaction segment. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you can get notified when I upload a new video. And if you are not new, welcome back. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let me thank everybody for being here. Thank all of the haters for my last video on Erika Kirk. While your comments had me cracking up, all of the name calling, all of the insecurity, you keep doing you. I got your views, so thank you very much for that. And if you just happen to come across this video and you're trying to comment and you're getting like some kind of an error back, it's because you've been blocked. So with all that being said, let's get into our girl, Erika Kirk. Recently, she was on a televised show on CBS, and I'm going to go ahead and play this video. Everybody's talking about the look that she gave when the reporter had asked her, you want to call that woman a reporter, about Candice Owens. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So Erica is running the circuit again with this face that she put, like her whole face changed. And it's not the only time that her face had changed when the issue of Candace Owens had been brought up. But here's my other thing. The reporter is saying about, what do you say to people that are spreading or who are spreading lies? And it's like, this administration is a whole lie. They're spreading lies every day. You hear Donald Trump talking about that the affordability is a hoax. It's not a hoax. This man does not go out to the grocery store. He's not buying things on a daily basis. If anything, he's eating McDonald's. He doesn't know how much a burger and French fries cost. He doesn't know that over time the prices had gone up for these type of fast foods. Guaranteed that this man is not eating healthy at all and not in very good health. So this whole story with stop and stop the lies, I don't know what is going on between these two women. I don't know the history of them. I don't know the history of Turning Point at all. Like I've mentioned before, all of this is new to me. And responding to a comment that somebody left about Charlie Kirk, that his speeches were not like really about racism or racist. Well, I don't know. When you're sitting there on a plane and you trust that a white pilot has all of the certification needed for you to get to point A to point B, but a black pilot needs to be questioned.
Last year, you said something about DEI, unqualified black pilots. You see a pilot on a black pilot. Don't you think it was an irresponsible statement suggesting that maybe these pilots aren't qualified or unqualified?
No. But I'll tell you exactly what I said and why I said it.
Okay, go ahead.
I said United Airlines is saying that they want 40% of all their pilots to be people of color or women. Anytime we reach racial quotas, we relax the standards. Standards for air traffic control, professors, or college admissions. Therefore, when it comes to pilots or surgeons, if I see somebody who is black, as I said on the show, I'm going to hope that that person is qualified. That's what I said. Because they're begging the question, we're not hiring based on merit anymore. We're hiring based on race.
Now,
So when you see a black pilot, you wonder, boy, is that person there because they earned it or because they were placed there? That's what DEI does. It makes you ask questions you otherwise would not ask.
What does that say about anybody who is white, because Charlie Kirk was white, questioning whether or not a white pilot has much more experience to get him to point A from point A to point B, as opposed to a black pilot? Now we've got to question the person of color whether or not they have the skills. So you would be willing to put your life on the line if you needed an emergency operation and there was like maybe, let's say, an Indian doctor who had more experience in that field as opposed to a white doctor. You would be willing to forego your life because you would prefer a white doctor to operate you as opposed to an Indian doctor. This is the world that we're living in. And I found a gem. As I was doing my research, I found Candice Owens' response on Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and play that video. So she is going to listen to this question again and respond to Erika Kirk.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So this is just, to me, I'm going to also let you know, they pre-recorded this. Obviously, I told you this yesterday, from about 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. I have sources just everywhere, CBS News, the people that were in the audience I showed you were emailing me, and they had to do multiple takes because Barry wanted to read a prompter. These questions were pre-submitted, okay? And I would like to respond to this loaded question. What would you like to say? The podcaster Candace Owens, and I'm not even going to address this repeat talking point about people making money, except for the people that have actually made off of all of the money, millions upon millions of dollars. But this is the new thing. It's like if you keep doing what you're already doing in podcasting or keep doing what you're already doing and doing ballistics on YouTube, if you catch a bunch of views, they want to convince you that like you wake up and you turn into a millionaire. Building her business. What are you talking about? I already had this business. I was already at the top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did because it's so ridiculous, okay? But she says, I'm lying. And Erika responds, and her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens who is lying is stop. So Erika would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that, okay? I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie, okay? The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA. Why is there not the same energy also for the feds? Because they told some lies. So what am I lying about? Explicitly lying about? Not made a molecular or a minor mistake. We got a time zone wrong. And it's like, she lied. The plane left a couple of hours earlier. Maybe somewhere I made a mistake on a timeline of Charlie being here on this day when he's actually there on that day. But I'm talking like, where am I lying? Because like I would like to stop if you can tell me.
I have to say that the pettiness between everything that's going on, it's so petty. And I'm going to say this, and maybe the majority of people who did not like Charlie Kirk will disagree with me, but it is the lack of respect for a human life. Even while he spread messages of hate, he was still a human. He was alive. He was a father. And people are just like, whatever, like, we're just going to kick him to the curb. We don't care. We need to continue making money and just keep throwing out that propaganda that people are going to buy into, because that's way more important than any human life. This is what's going on. And Erika Kirk is very much a part of that. I can care less what people think about me. If they hate what I'm saying, just click out of the video. If Erika Kirk is your girl and Turning Point USA is a propaganda that you like to buy into, click out of this video. Don't bother leaving me a comment, because all of the comments are held and they will be deleted. It's that simple. But if you're here listening, maybe you want to use your little bit of critical thinking skills that you have left and say, what is going on here? Is this all important? This pettiness, this back and forth, this argument over lies? This is what all of this propaganda has become. It has become the machine of don't pay attention to the important things, pay attention to the petty stuff so that we could continue peddling whatever it is that we're peddling so that we can make money off of it. That's what this is all about. Candace Owens included. I just will never understand the levels of people not wanting to utilize their critical thinking skills to argue the points of what is being presented to them in their face. The other day, I was on a TikTok live, just scrolling. I didn't go into the live. And someone used the background picture of Donald Trump with all of those girls with their faces blacked out. In the bottom, that says, "See, you Democrats tried and there's no proof." Huh? Did you really just put that up there? You're holding the proof. There are pictures that we have yet to see that we will probably never see. That picture with Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein sitting in his office with that picture that they say there's a woman that looks like she's passed out. You can't really tell what it is. It looks like she's covered with something and you see a pair of legs sticking out. We're talking about deep, dark, and disturbing things. A little bit of what I uncovered in my Epstein video, more things that I'm watching that seem to be uncovering a lot more of this ugliness that's going on in the world. I don't know where people's priorities are at. This, what's going on with Candice Owens and Erika Kirk and this and that, that's not community. That's drama. That's what you see on television, namely reality TV. That's what this is. But you keep doing you. What do you think of all of this? And with all that being said, this is Maribel Blue signing off. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.